Oh, here, let's look at here. There's CNN, and this is time of day stamp. It's tonight for New Year's Eve, and this is the 2000s again. They're talking about early 2001, 9/11, Twin Towers, tragic events that went on there. Now, when I was enrolled in a community college at the time, and it was like 5 a.m. relative cold, like turn on TV and whatnot, and studio and whatnot, and it just kind of unfolded. I don't think there was class that day or whatnot, and I was in a philosophy class, and one of the heated conversation about who was behind everything and whatnot.
Today, America is again forging its future by choosing
and this production is San Francisco. So here we go. Look at this. So here's the election. This is the election of 2000, and I was in San Francisco at the time. This is Bush and Al Gore. We were going to have a recount for it. And personal spin, I was working at the hotel, at the Hilton Hotel. I lived in San Francisco, and he's campaigning here. And this is where he came for campaigning. W was George W. Bush. Yep. I mean, at the time, I didn't know Bush was affiliated. Bush Street was affiliated with George Bush, but turns out before I had left, yep, indeed, because I worked at one of the condominiums where one of the Bushes stayed at, and but in any case, so that's what happened. He was the president for 8 years, and a lot of things happened within that time, including the election where Al Gore, they had a recount in Florida and whatnot. And a personal spin on mine when I found out that they recounted and George W. Bush was in fact the president. I think I was listening to like hip hop stations or radio stations down there, KML stations, and the street soldiers at night because I would work the night shift, and they were like, "Oh yeah, well, man, I can't believe President Bush is going to be president and whatnot," and even me, for some odd reason, I was wondering, had a jinx attached to it and whatnot. Maybe it was just kind of like where I was and stuff like that, and again, I didn't know too much, out of high school, so that was the whole thing of it. That was besides the point, but basically people were like, George was president, and Bush as the president, and so that went on for like the whole night, I believe. Yeah, right. Yeah. So I was right, and then into that year, and there's Peter Jennings there, and that alone was controversial in itself because that was the first recount, I believe, or something like that. I have no idea. I can't form an opinion about why that was so controversial, but it was, and I don't really go backwards on that whole idea because. Then you understand, and then you interface with TV as it is now, and they're talking about the 2000s of back then, but they're putting it through a lens of today of how they're calling it in 2000. So it can be interpreted in any way. I do remember it was. It took long. It looked hours. It took hours to recount and whatnot. And that's my whole thing of it. That's how it was. So that's what I was doing. So.